In the year 788, the emperor directed the man later to be known as Dengyo Dashi to build a temple to protect his new capital of Kyoto from evil spirits. Situated in a thick grove of cypress trees near the summit of Mount Hiei, the temple of Enyaku grew over the centuries into a great monastery, with thousands of monks and nuns living lives of devotion within its walls. To protect themselves and the treasures of the massive temple complex from marauding samurai, the priests took up the practice of the military arts, eventually becoming the most feared and revered warriors in all Japan. Known simply as Soye, these warrior priests eventually came to forsake their devotion to Buddhism, instead choosing to live in an almost constant state of warfare. Hired by rival samurai to lead armies into combat and calloused by their ongoing battles with the monks from the great temples of Nara, the Soe soon allowed their power and prestige to give rise to ambition and eventually sin. Wars raged out of control, without purpose, without glory, fueled by fires of sheer gluttony and drunken debauchery. However, unlike the samurai clans, the monks were not adverse to making their joint religious and military presence felt in the capital itself, greatly disturbing the ruling Fujiwara, to whom rebellions were reported by governors in remote provinces. Instead, courtiers were forced to witness violence literally on their own doorsteps. By the 1400s, the monks of Mount Hiei had begun raiding sections of Kyoto belonging to the samurai who had once preyed upon them. Influenced by Saint Francis Xavier, the shogun Nobunaga ordered the destruction of the Kyoto temple and its inhabitants. Only an unholy alliance of their bitter rivals, the Nara monks, and the shogun's forces could defeat the Soe, leaving them dispersed, powerless, and in hiding. The survivors assumed the guise of komuso, wandering monks, throughout the countryside, dressed in kimono robes and wearing large braided hats that covered their heads and hid their faces. They relied solely on their commitment to a sacred code of honor to see them through these dark days, for they had nothing else. Encountering road bandits, rogue samurai, ronin, and other unsavory types, the monks' reputation as teachers, warriors, and heroes were immortalized in both story and song. But adventure was not all that the Soe found. Many found peace, humility, and enlightenment. Eventually, a new temple was constructed in Kyoto, and the monks returned. Forbidden to continue practicing their warrior ways openly, the monks returned to a more outwardly peaceful way of life. Secretly, however, they preserved their martial tradition and created a secret order of shadow warriors. Today, the Soe uphold a white banner in a tricolor war waged across oceans across time. The black warriors of Nara and the red of the Yakuza, these are the enemies of this kinship who have sworn to uphold a crusade of righteousness, even in a world grown weary of such nobility. This is the story of an outcast, a renegade from a society of renegades.